Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. A little different setting than usual, and I'm recording this late at night. But I didn't want to wait to share this great news that was announced yesterday about a box set that is coming in early 2026, early next year. And it is a box set, Juvenilia, and it contains the first 4 albums of Sananda, Maitreya. It will be released on music on vinyl, and a box set with completely remastered albums. I've been waiting for this to be announced for ages, really. And the main reason is that Vibrator, the 4th album he released, was never released on vinyl. This CD probably never got reissued either. So I'm very, very excited for this box set to come out early next year. Introducing the Hardline, his debut album, is probably his most famous. And this one and the second one, Neither Fish Nor Flesh, will be released as single discs, while Symphony or Damn and Vibrator will both be released as double albums. Fortunately, because this is the CD era and those last 2 albums were really filled with as much music as possible, and it's like 70 minutes or something, I think. It's good news that they will be released on a double vinyl, completely remastered, all 4 albums. Now, why am I excited? Because these albums really need to be re-evaluated. I mean, everybody knows his debut album, Introducing the Hardline. Where is it? This one, like I said. But these other albums are so good. If you like Prince in the 1990s, with albums like Diamonds and Pearls, and especially a project like Emancipation, which was filled with so many different genres and so much music and so much creativity. And these albums as well, I think, in all honesty, that they can stand next to the catalog of Prince in that period, definitely. So maybe I can say a little something about the name change, because of course these albums were released under a different name, as you may know. You can see it right here. Like many artists, and like Prince, he was trapped in music industry contract hell. He came onto the scene with Introducing the Hardline, which included 4 worldwide hits: Sign Your Name, Wishing Well, If You Let Me Stay, Dance Little Sister, hits across the globe. And he was marketed by Columbia, which was of course an American label with a very where the music scene is very segregated. He was marketed as the new soul music star, the new kid on the block in the soul music. And that's not what Sananda Maitreya had in mind with his career. He wanted to explore and then do different things and see where his creativity brought him. So because he was trapped, because Sony owned the name that he used then, he said, well, screw it, I want to get out of it, and I'm going to change my name and do my own thing. So that's what he did after the release of these 4 albums. And maybe I can tell you a little about each of these 4 albums. I don't have to say much about this one. This is a classic from 1987, his debut album, like I said, 4 worldwide hits, but already some hints of the experimental things that he wanted to do. There's some influences, of course, of reggae that I hear here and there. And one of my favorite tracks on the album is probably As Yet Untitled. It's a completely a cappella track. And it's so beautiful, and his voice is so phenomenal. This guy has such a phenomenal voice, and it is most prominent in that a cappella track, of course. And I really, really, really like that one. So a classic album and a big tip to rediscover Introducing the Hardline, according to Sananda Maitreya. Now, a bit later, 2 years later, in 1989, he decided to really experiment, and for the release of his second album, Neither Fish Nor Flesh, there's a subtitle to this, A Soundtrack of Love, Faith, Hope, and Destruction. Some people might find it pretentious, but I really, really love this album. It's phenomenal. The first single that was released, This Side of Love, was a kind of very weird, psychedelic, heavy funk rock song. But there's still, you know, those more classic funk tracks like I'll Be Alright, Attracted to You, and Billy Don't Fall, which I really like, about a gay friend who falls in love with him. But also, I Have Faith in These Desolate Times is the opening track, and it has really, I think harpsichord is the name of the instrument, I'm not really sure, and it ends with a great percussive funk music. Yeah, very, very weird song in a way. To Know Someone Deeply is to Know Someone Softly. It was another single. Really like that one. Great psychedelic video, but the record company had no idea what to do with this, how to market this, but it's just fantastic music, and it's really, really great. Yeah, it's one of my favorite albums of his, Neither Fish Nor Flesh from 1989. Then, because of the commercial flop of the album, the label didn't really promote it, and he waited 4 years to come up with Symphony or Damn, his third album, with a subtitle exploring the tension inside the sweetness. And this is if introducing to Hardline was like the introduction, of course, to the artist, and Neither Fish Nor Flesh was him kicking around and saying, "Hey, I'm not just doing soul music. I can do whatever the fuck I want." So being very experimental and kicking around and doing all sorts of crazy shit, he came up with his first very mature album, which included the hit Delicate, which was a duet with singer Desiree. Beautiful, beautiful soul ballad, a bit a bit like Sign Your Name kind of song. But the first single was Do You Love Me Like You Say, which has these reversed drum loops. Very good. She Kissed Me was another single, I think, which is a very great funk rock song. Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff on this album, a very mature album. Succumb to Me is a favorite. Wet Your Lips, I really love that song as well. And it ends with Let Her Down Easy, which is another one of those fantastic Sananda Maitreya, piano ballads, which he does so well. You know, he makes great stuff to dance to and just to rock out to, but his piano ballads are always, always beautiful. A bit like Prince did, you know. This was released, as you can see, on vinyl still in 1993, but they didn't get to put everything on a single disc, so they added a 7-inch with the 4 last tracks. And I'm really glad that this is coming out as a double vinyl now in a box set, because the quality isn't, you know, top notch. So Symphony of Damn, the third album from Sananda Maitreya, that was released on Columbia in 1993. 2 years later, he came up with Vibrator, his last album for Columbia, which depends on when you ask. You know, 1 week it's Neither Fish Nor Flesh or Symphony or Damn. But when you ask me for my favorite album, most likely I will say it's Vibrator. But this starts off with a great rock track, the title track Vibrator, which is a very cool song. And then the second track, Supermodel Sandwich, is one of my favorite tracks of his. Very clever, funny lyrics. And then he brings it down for Holding On To You, which is another one of those Motown style great soul songs of his, you know. Then puts the tempo back up with Read My Lips, with these great effects on the drums, and yeah, a very, very, very cool album. Can You Feel My Love Around You is great, and Supermodel Sandwich, the second track, like I said, comes back in another more funk version as a Supermodel Sandwich with cheese, and has great background vocals by Luke Goss, the singer from that boy band Bros from the 1980s, with who had this smash hit with what's it called, When Will I Be Famous. So he does background vocals on Supermodel Sandwich with Cheese, which is a great funk version of the track. So Vibrator by Sananda Maitreya, fantastic album yet again. And like I said, you know, if you like Prince, you're definitely gonna love Sananda Maitreya. A great voice, a great songwriter, a great producer, and these 4 albums are killer. So very excited about the box set that's coming out. You can pre-order it now. You can go to your local record store and pre-order it there probably. So I just wanted to share my excitement for Sananda Maitreya, and fingers crossed that he's coming back to Belgium to tour, because I've seen footage of the tour that he's doing right now in the UK, and he's doing all these great songs. He's doing This Side of Love, he's singing Vibrator, all those great tracks from back in the day. So please, Sananda, if you see this, you probably won't, but do come back to Belgium for a show, and I will definitely be there. I missed your show in last year or 2 years ago, so I regret it now. Yeah, Juvenilia, the box set, coming early next year on Music on Vinyl. Thanks for watching. Peace.